It's time for another Boy Green Daily, diving into the latest things with all things New York Jets, with a very special guest. More coming up in just a second. Zoinks! It is unequivocally the Super Bowl for New York Jet fans.
Field Yates, baby. Field Gosh darn Yates. Let's bring him on the show.
Come on, people. Connor Rogers is joining the show. What's up, Connor? But Trevor Gosh darn Sycamore, baby, for me, personally, my favorite New York Jet of all time.
Wow, it's great to be on. What an intro that was right there.
Paul, nobody does an intro like you, man.
Paul, you give the best intro of literally any podcast that I've ever done.
I'm gonna lose my gosh darn bananas.
Good morning, everybody. I got to get used to that. Hello, I'm Paul Eston Jr., a.k.a. Boy Green. I'm the New York Jets digital reporter for Heavy.com. This is Boy Green Daily, a brand new New York Jets video show every single morning shoved down your throat. Have you ever asked yourself, man, I want more Boy Green? Probably not, but I'm giving it to you anyway. Live every morning at 7:30, YouTube, Heavy on Jets Facebook page, and my Twitter account. And guys, if you want to get involved interacting with the show, there is a link below in every social media platform we're on: Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and it has our topic of the day. That will be a new thing we'll be discussing. And today's topic is predicting the biggest impact free agent for the New York Jets. Who do you guys believe it is? Make sure you comment in the comment section on the article link down below. Click the link, scroll down to the comment section, and send it in, baby. I love being live every day, and I'm doing it with a very special guest. His name is Italy Jet, and he's got a lot of different ventures he's a part of, including that morning brew brand. Let's bring him in. Italy Jet, good morning, brother.
Good morning, buongiorno, everyone. It is about 6:30 where I'm at Central Time. I'm awake, I'm ready, and I'm with Boy Green. Doesn't get any better than that.
Well, you are a trooper, I will say. Sending, first off, doing this morning show. I'm live every day on my sports talk radio show, so I thought, why not just be more live and do it for all our wonderful Jets content people. So that is the question of the day, and I want to explore it. And we'll both, of course, give our answers to the question, but I'll throw some candidates out there to get some of the cogs moving for some of you people as well. And again, link down below where you guys can share your predictions for who that will be. So let's start out into the universe. Let's get this party started. And again, I will also note for people, because we do all kinds of long shows, like last night I was on for Joe Blewett with 40 plus minutes. This is only 20 minutes. It's a snack size episode, so it's going to be real quick for all of you out there. But let me throw it to you first, Italy. Who do you believe is going to be the biggest impact free agent for the Jets? They don't have a lot of names in terms of 25 guys. That's because the Jets roster has become very good. So they didn't need to spend all kinds of crazy money, but there is a lot of names on this list. Who stands out to you?
Man, well, first, a great question. First, good morning in the chat. Braden NZL, Matthias Simon, everyone in the chat. Appreciate the shout outs. Love everyone. Man, you know what? Boy Green, obviously, everyone's their first answer is Aaron Rodgers, right? Everyone likes the Aaron Rodgers. But for me, it's Allen Lazard. I really love Allen Lazard. Been a big fan of him for the past 2 to 3 years. I love what he can bring in when Rodgers throws it downfield, the red zone, his height. And I think he's only going to get better in this system with Hackett and with Aaron Rodgers. That's my go-to free agent.
And that one makes a lot of sense because it checks off a lot of buckets. Let's go through them. So money, $44 million. Now, it's truly a 2-year, $22 million deal, but on the surface, it's a 4-year, $44 million deal, which, quick detour, shout out to Allen Lazard, who is an undrafted free agent, signed with the Jaguars, gets cut, gets thrown on the practice squad, and then Green Bay salvages him, scoops him off the pile, and then obviously everything that he was able to accomplish to even lead to this $44 million contract. So that's a Hollywood script right there. Amazing. And rooting for the guy that is Allen Lazard. So the money, the obvious connection, Aaron Rodgers, who ends up coming over with him, he should make, I would assume, an immediate impact. Now, Garrett Wilson will be primo, but I think as we look like who's going to be the number 2 pass catcher on this Jets team, Allen Lazard is certainly well into the conversation. I think the one thing he will bring undoubtedly is the touchdowns. I mean, if you look at the touchdowns, he's been able to produce with the size, the body, the red zone, the innate chemistry he has with Aaron Rodgers that, quite frankly, Aaron Rodgers isn't going to have with anyone else on the roster outside of a guy named Randall Cobb. So they're just going to have this thing that is like instantaneous, that it's going to take time to build with some of these other players on the team. But I will say, as we saw here with Matthias commenting in live here on the show, is that the Garrett Wilson impact with Aaron Rodgers. I can't wait to see that. That will be delectable. One of the names I will immediately throw out, since we're in the wide receiver pool, since we're swimming around in there, Mecole Hardman. And the reason why I say impact, because if you really think about the word impact, you know, there's a variety, multifaceted approach here. Of course, Mecole Hardman is named in his position. If you Google, hit the old Bing search on the New York Jets roster, you're going to see that Mecole Hardman is listed at wide receiver. And of course, he's going to bring that. He brings dynamic speed, 4.33, 40-yard dash, coming back from his NFL Combine days. Like, he brings elite speed, and that's different speed than really anyone else on the Jets roster, which is dynamic. So number one. Number two, I believe, and we will see ultimately when camp rolls around here sooner rather than later, that he will contribute as the lead return man. Now, he didn't really do that last year. There were some injuries. There was a lot of kind of different factoids on why he didn't. But the leading return man for the Jets last year, Braxton Berrios, who led the team in kick returns and led the team in punt returns, and I'm talking about attempts, is what he led them in. No other Jets player even attempted a punt return last season. But obviously, Braxton Berrios gets dumped, so all of a sudden, that's an opening. I think Mecole Hardman could immediately go there. When he first came into the league, he was an All-Pro as a return man. He was a Pro Bowler as a return man. I really think that could contribute to Italy. He seems like a guy that can, bring that dynamic, all gas, no break.
And not only that, Hardman was one of the fastest players on the Chiefs besides Hill at the time. But if he wasn't as injured with the Chiefs, I think he would have been a little bit more faster than Hill as prime. Now he's got something to show. He's got all these injuries. We'll see what he has. But, man, he won a Super Bowl. The sky's the limit there. He's bringing over really good playoff experience here, and I think he's going to bounce back really nicely now that he's used to caliber QBs, and that's what we have now. So I think this is going to be a very nice steal for the New York Jets.
Yeah, so he's interesting. Now, here's the thing. I've gotten into a few tiffs with Buffalo Jet fan. We do a show every week as well. And one of the things he said is, because as soon as Mecole Hardman was signed, one of the things that came out from the Jets, and also kind of from Mecole Hardman's camp, is the Jets are going to use Mecole Hardman more than just a gizmo gadget guy. Like, they're going to use him as a wide receiver and expand the route tree and things of that nature. And Buffalo's kind of rolled his eyes and said, do we really think as Jets, the New York Jets organization, we're going to find more creative ways and expand the stuff that Andy Reid and the Chiefs couldn't have figured out over there? Like, so he raised some serious questions about it, which I find fascinating. But I still believe there's going to be, even as a decoy, quite frankly, you always have to account for his speed, because if you don't, he could get you.
I 100% agree. I think they're going to use him all the way around. I don't think it's just going to be him. I think overall he is going to be used as either a decoy. He's going to be used in the slot. And not only that, I think they're going to do some trick plays with him. I seriously think with that speed, because we could possibly carry 6 wide receivers this year. And
probably, yeah.
And all with those 6, they could do a number of things with them, including what Hardman can bring to the table.
Yeah, I really think there's 5 locks to make the team at wide receiver, in my mind. I think there's Garrett Wilson, there's Allen Lazard, there's Mecole Hardman, there's Randall Cobb, and Corey Davis, because the Corey Davis thing continues to hang out there. We don't know about the pay cut situation, so that is TBD. That has been kind of prognosticated by several of the Jets beat reporters, and I could obviously see it as well, considering the number. It seems a little rich for what he's going to be asked to do in the rotation. So TBD and camp coming up, that could be something to keep an eye out for. But if you got the 5 locks, I think there's a chance that there's a wide receiver 6. But that wide receiver 6, whoever that is probably going to have some level of special teams prowess. and that makes it tough for Denzel Mims. Is it going to be Jason Brownlee? Is it going to be Xavier Gibson? Who is that guy?
Or Cap too.
Yeah, Cap, 100%. Right. There's Cap, who is a really fun, intriguing story out there as well. So those ones are interesting. And as Matthias mentions here with the Denzel Mims experiment, I think it's over. I'm going to be honest. Quick detour. I'm going to be honest. I know there's a lot of Denzel Mims stands out there in the universe, and I get you. I just think it's over. Unfortunately, it is what it is. I wish it would have worked out better here, but I think he does have a chance. We will see if this is true. I think he has a chance to be something for somebody. Now, I'm not saying he's going to leave the Jets and become an all-pro wide receiver somewhere, but I think he could be an NFLer. I think he could be a guy somewhere, but it's a struggle for me, quite frankly, Italy, to see it on this year's roster when we're trying to construct this thing.
I think he can either go to a team and like someone can really work on the attitude, work on the playbook, or goes to the XFL, does really nice, and then bounces back, because I've seen a lot of players get second, third chances from the XFL working with the Battlehawks this year. I've seen a lot of really nice talent come back in. And honestly, I mean, a lot of players have done that, come back in the NFL, they make a team, and they have pretty nice careers after that. So you just never know. I think he's done with the Jets, but who knows what the next team, what he's going to bring to the table.
100%. Let's get to some other free agent names. I'll also get to some comments. I see we just had Ben Duty drop in there, one of my heavy bosses. So, guys, feel free. The article link is live down below. You can get interactive with the show live and also after the fact by continuing to submit your predictions on who you believe the biggest impact Jets free agent will be. Trying to make a Jets community down there. So feel free to support the show by clicking the link down below and getting involved in the comment section. A couple of free agents I just want to throw out there, some names that the Jets have added in. Greg Zuerlein. And the reason why, and that is a retention, but still nonetheless counts. The fact of the matter is the Jets have had this revolving musical chair door thing at kicker. And finally, Greg the Legatron, this guy showed us some chutzpah last year. And while there was some emotional turns early in the year, you're like, oh boy. And then he turned it around, and then middle of the year, oh boy. So there's been a little bit of that, but still, there was nice. I got to throw that name out there, Zuerlein, and also Thomas Morstead. I got a couple other names in here, but we'll kind of package special teams here for a second. Thomas gosh darn Morstead, a former Super Bowl champion, of course. He brings a little bit of that gray beard veteranship to the room. I'm really excited about him as well. So, special teams people are people as well. So I want to throw that out there into the universe.
Amen. I'll start off with Morstead. Morstead has been one of my favorite punters for a long time. I loved him with the Jets. Seeing him with the Saints was awesome. And with the Dolphins, kind of hurt a little bit, not going to lie. But overall, he is a great veteran talent. I think he's going to fit really well with this Jets team now that he's back. I love how he announced it on social media with his family. Yes. It was a great, great thing. And I think we're all relieved now. Very, very relieved now. All right, Zuerlein. I have a long history with Greg Zuerlein. When I worked for the St. Louis Rams for 10 seasons, he was the kicker. We drafted him. I was in marketing, and I was also a flag guy there as well. So I've saw the good parts of Zuerlein. I've saw the bad parts of Zuerlein. Especially when he went to LA, he didn't really adjust well to not only outside and even in cold weather. He just wasn't that great when it came to the different climate and also the change in coaches, what he had at special teams as well. And it worried me because he didn't have that great of a season with the Cowboys. Then when he came to us, I was like, oh man, I can't go through this again. So he has proven me wrong now. So hopefully he can continue to prove me wrong, but I always have my doubts. Now I'm like, okay, all right. Continue to prove me wrong, Greg the Leg.
There you go. Wow. And I'm learning more about you, Italy, which is great. This is kind of what I also want with these, new people. I don't want to say new because we've done shows together before, but I mean new in the sense that I'm doing a show every day live every single morning. So I just heard someone say they love the early show. Well, the early show is every gosh darn day, baby. 7:30, Boy Green Daily. Don't miss it. So make sure you work it into your normal, calendar and things of that nature. So I'm learning more about you, Italy, which is great with your Rams background, which I was unfamiliar with. Now, let's throw a couple of quick names in here before before we sign off, we only have a handful of minutes left. We're already 75% of the way through the show. That's how quickly this thing moves. Quincy Williams, the guy I love. Again, another retention. Wes Schweitzer is a guy who people may go, who? And I think a lot of people did, quite frankly. Who the hell is that? But he is just a massive upgrade over Dan Feeney. This is a guy that is going to be the interior offensive line top depth backup, although he is competing technically for the starting center job. I just don't foresee that one happening. But still, as a top depth guy to protect the AVTs, the Lakin, the Connor McGovern / Joe Tippmann, whoever it is. He's just kind of this versatile guy that I really like that hasn't been talked about at all in the Jets universe. But the only thing is potentially durability. Missed 9 weeks last year, concussion year before, 4 games with an ankle sprain. So durability is a concern, and he didn't play enough for the snap reps to count when we're looking at some of the advanced analytics. But still, he's a guy that actually, quite frankly, I like a lot. So I wanted to make sure we gave some love to Wes Schweitzer on the program. Yeah, very nice. Also, let's do this. Let's throw this in here. There's some other topics. Our topic for the day is also included in the link down below. Some things that we'll discuss on the show. Want to make sure we get this in before we get out of here. Michael Carter, what do you make of him? Could he be traded? Could he be moved? Because there's the Dalvin Cook rumors. And obviously, if the Jets sign Dalvin Cook, somebody else has got to go. Who is that? Is it Zonovan Knight? Is it Michael Carter? Who could it be? Where are you at on Michael Carter? It seems like a polarizing topic. Some people are on it, saying he's going to bounce back this year. Other people are like, not so much. You?
Man, overall, going back, Wes Schweitzer, I love that guy. I hope he makes the team because we need depth, and I love the depth. Number 2, Michael Carter. Yeah, if we get Cook, I think he's the odd man out. I would like him to stay. I think, honestly, I think there was a hidden injury last year. And I think I think the O-line, with all the O-line troubles, didn't give him what he did the first season. First season, he was unbelievable. I mean, when we even got Bryce Hall, like everyone thought Carter was going to be our number 1. But then when you add someone like that, like a generational talent like he is, it's unbelievable. But yeah, I think Carter's the odd one out. And I think he's going to be traded or he'll get cut. But overall, if Cook does come here, I think that's what's going to happen. I wish him luck because I really do like Michael Carter, but you never know nowadays with the New York Jets.
That's always true. And again, I think the reason why Carter would come up, because again, he'd be obviously, if I'm doing the pecking order, if Dalvin Cook coming in, Dalvin, Brees, Michael Carter, and then, like Zonovan Knight. Like, so Carter would be above some of the, Travis Dye is also on the roster. Like, he's above some of the other names, but the reason why I think he's been pinpointed is because he could be flipped. He still has 2 years left in his rookie deal, and someone could get him for cheap. There was a trade proposal. We have it down in the link down below from a Dallas Cowboys person who shared that maybe the Jets and Cowboys could come to a deal if they sign Cook and flip Michael Carter down to the Dallas Cowboys. So something to consider. And then quickly on the Dalvin Cook situation, which will make the main feature topic for Boy Green Daily tomorrow, because I saw some great questions in here about the agent play that'll be happening. We don't have enough time on today's show to get into it. But again, if Dalvin Cook comes, maybe all of a sudden things start changing. Quick take, Italy, do you want Dalvin Cook?
Yes, I do. I think having that go-to punch, Cook knows how to win. I know with the Vikings, you struggle a little bit with injuries, but when he's on, and I love that 1-2 punch with Brees Hall and Cook. Why not? If you're going to go in all this year and possibly next year, got to get the top guys. I think Cook's the top guy. Why not?
All right, fair enough. And I'll answer questions that are coming here through our heavy.com articles. I see a lot of great questions in the YouTube section. Guys, make sure you're sending those in on the heavy.com article down below, and we'll feature those on the show. Like this one that just came in from Ben Duty. He was asking about Garrett Wilson. He says, I have him on my fantasy practice squad last year. You can stash rookies there for up to 3 years. They don't kind of get your keeper total. That's a cool twist. Calling him up this year, what can I expect? I think Garrett Wilson is going to be a freak. I in every fantasy league, hopefully none of my fantasy league people are listening, I'm doing everything in my power to land Garrett Wilson. With Aaron Rodgers, I think he's going to reset the Jets record books, 100-plus catches, 1,400-plus yards, and then we'll see on the touchdowns because that's kind of a volatile stat. He only had 4 last year, but I could see that skyrocketing in the 7, 8, 9, 10 range potentially for Garrett Wilson. Well, any predictions or words on Garrett Wilson? Rodgers, what do you think, Italy?
Oh my gosh, it's going to be like Davante Adams 2.0. I think he's going to be better than Davante Adams eventually. He has that ceiling. It's out there, and Rodgers loves him. Rodgers compares him to Devontae Adams all the time. Now, no disrespect to Devontae because I love him, but man, Wilson ceiling with his basketball background too. The way he could jump, the way he could deke, the way he could do really anything. I mean, everyone's seen the tape at practice and OTAs. Garrett Wilson is that guy.
All right, guys, that's going to wrap up the show. Again, Boy Green Daily. It's quick. It's 20 minutes. It is quick, biting content every single day. And if you guys want to get involved, I see you guys all getting involved in the YouTube stuff, which is great, but make sure you do so in the article down below. And the question of today is predicting the biggest impact free agent for the Jets. You guys can continue to send submissions, and I will respond to all your answers and questions down below at the link. And that will be live, obviously, throughout the day. So feel free to do so. Before we get you out of here, real quick, Italy, let us know everything you got going on.
Everything MYJ. I got something with the Jew Jets, the Jets duo show, the Jets Evening Brew with Porto. I know Paul has been on the show with us a couple weeks ago, maybe 3 weeks ago. And then I have baseball content, basketball content, and soccer content. I'm Italy Jet. I'm everywhere.
All right, there we go. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in, and we will see you tomorrow morning right here on the channel. Take care.